Behold, #1 fangirl is hot!
Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Activision and High Noon Studios' action game based on the Rob Liefeld and Fabian Nicieza character Deadpool, who after all these years since making his debut in 1991 gets his own video game. There's a lot to like about this game, with its basking in innuendo and flirtations with adult suggestive themes. There's a very simplistic combat system that's easy to play and just allows gamers to get on with enjoying the dark and perverse humour. Yet, something is amiss when you strip away the game to its bare bones. It simply lacks any complexity to take it beyond being a showcase for how crazy the Deadpool character can be. Whilst cutscenes aren't too invasive, there are lots of moments where Deadpool simply shows off. So the gameplay itself revolves around the central theme of moving through linear environments, slicing away with melee weapons, guns and grenades at two main types of AI opponents. The game switches up the need for using guns versus getting in up close for combos using range and close quarters opponents. Whilst not complex or deep in any way, by simply aiming to not get hit to retrieve XP from the combos, which can then be spent on upgrades, there's little more to the fighting than having a decent aim and tapping away at 2-button attack moves and using the odd power up to attack once in a while. It's quite dull, and although at times tries to throw in some challenging moments, there's perhaps too much reliance on the craziness of the scenarios and Deadpool himself taking all the room on centre stage. There are some variations throughout the game, including a throwback 8-bit era moment, riding shotgun, and an interesting fairground shooting gallery, to name but a few out there sections which inject a fair dosage of variety. However, with all the bells and whistles, varied moments and deadpan wisecracks, the game does nothing more than entertain on a basic level. Graphically, the locations let the game down, as we're stuck in dark, dimly lit, uninspiring dwellings, save for a few finer moments above ground and wandering the city. The game looks pleasant, but there's no interactivity with the environments, making the combat areas feel bare. Animations are fluid, capturing the movements of Deadpool well. There's solid frames throughout, regardless of how many enemies litter the screen. And the only real glaring issue is with the camera, when in tighter spaces being a right royal pain. Audio is the best part of the game, with some fine moments of comedy from start to conclusion that suit the comic book version of the character. Deadpool is definitely the star of this game, and you get to see him in all his glory, acted superbly by Nolan North, who proves that he can go way beyond the Nathan Drake character from Uncharted. The rest of the audio is a fine mix of up-tempo beats and sound effects typical of an action game. Sadly, Deadpool's reign is short-lived, as the campaign at least can be beaten in less than a day's play and offers nothing more than increased difficulty as an incentive to replay again. There are challenging modes including which stretch out the fun for some time, but ultimately there's not a lot of content on offer here. Deadpool finally got his own game, and on its own merits is likeable for a quick, non-taxing entertaining ride. If you're a fan of the character, then this is a game for you to love and cherish, but anyone else would be wise to simply rent or at least wait for a price drop at some point. The game is simply an average offering, big on laughs but shallow on the content and gameplay. Deadpool scores 5.5 out of 10. I'm Rob Cram, thanks for watching.